Good good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back on PU Project, which is part of Supermom's Magic Circle. And today we have an amazing guest, Shirley. She's an intuitive transformational coach, and she has so much to share with us. Welcome, Shirley.
Hello, thank you so much for your beautiful introduction. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Roxandra, for having me.
You're more than welcome, and she is a beautiful soul. And I'm sure we're gonna learn lots of things from her today. And she will talk with us a bit of her journey and some tips and advice on how can we step into that intuition. Shirley, can we just start off talking about that? Can you just tell us what intuition is and how can we start living our life with more intuition in it?
Mm, that's a beautiful question to ask. So, intuition is what everybody knows as a gut feeling, right? It's something that we do feel inside of us, and usually it's like in the belly, and it's our guiding system, right? So the guiding system tells us if we're doing something right or maybe if we should change direction. And as we tune into our intuition and into our guiding system, we become more independent in our decision making. We can be more focused and achieve the desired goals that we set ourselves.
Mm-hmm. That's incredible. And how can someone start doing that?
Yes. So the way we start connecting with our intuition is to really tune into it. Because very often we think that it might be like very obvious, a very loud voice or a very loud feeling, and therefore we act on that. It's not really that simple. It's more like a quiet voice. Or a quiet feeling. And so you have to learn to tune into that. And the best way in doing that is to calm your mind down. And the mind can be calmed down through meditation, mindfulness, literally having silence around us. The world is just so loud with phones and TV and etc. So it's really, really good that if we want to tune into our inner voice, to our intuition, and to our guiding system, it is a good idea to just have that practice of calming our thoughts down so that we can hear and feel that that voice.
That's
Yeah, that gut
beautiful.
feeling. Mhm.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a really great tip how to start it. Do you remember your own journey? How did you start going more into this transformation journey for yourself?
That's quite an interesting question because I was always very intuitively, so I've done it like naturally. And in fact, my friends at school at the time, they were like, Shirley, you always know the answer. And I'm like, how do I always know the answer? And I'm like, why are people always coming to me and asking me all of these questions? And I was having this conversation with a really, really dear friend of mine. She's still my friend. So it's like decades of friendship here. And
Aw,
she's like, I completely trust you. And I could not really understand what she meant with that, but it was lovely, right? When your friends come to you for advice and you have success with it, it's beautiful. You can help your friends out. Um, what really made the difference for me and where it clicked was when I became a mom. Because
mm,
our intuition when we become a mom heightens. And the reason why it heightens is because we have this beautiful soul that we need to take care of. It's not just us, there's another human being that needs us. And so that's when it's so important, even more important to tune into that. Because when you take care of your baby, and you tune into the baby's needs, that's when it is the easiest really to connect with your intuition and to play with it and what works and what doesn't work. But most of the time, when you listen to your intuition as a mom and you connect with your baby, that's when it's really the most powerful time to have that success in tuning into intuition, see the results, you're like, oh wow, oh amazing, yeah, it does work. And so that's where I really awakened of, oh, I do have a really, really good guiding system. And noticing as well that that the father of my child, my ex-husband, was also like asking me all the time. I'm like, why can you not connect? Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense now. So it's really, really beautiful to see how all of that works when you become a mom. And that's when you can truly, like, if you have not noticed before, that's the right time to develop it even further, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes absolutely. And is that the case just for you as a mom or for a father as well? Because I remember since I become a mom, I know kind of when it's dangerous, for my son, for example, even if it's like in a playground, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can predict that's gonna happen. Or I kind of know when he's gonna wake up from an afternoon nap, which is, my husband doesn't know when those things happen. So just
Mm-hmm.
light us up with that, please.
Well, of course, men can also develop their intuition, right? Absolutely. But it comes more natural to a mom because she needs to um, grow this baby. It's just nature that gives it to her as a additional gift to the baby because it's about survival for the child. The child depends on you as a mom to understand all those clues. And so automatically you are just like gifted with this guiding
Hmm.
system. But there is nothing to say that a parent, sorry, a father cannot also develop his intuition. It's just
Yeah.
like it comes more natural to a mom.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. And I also know that you manifested your childbirth, and before you used to be a pregnancy coach. Can you please talk with us about that experience in your life?
Yeah, that was quite an experience indeed. So, my first childbirth was very traumatic. And when I then found out I was pregnant during the pandemic, so during the lockdown that we all experienced, I was determined not to repeat that experience, that negative experience with my son. And I also learned so much from my first childbirth, the first experience. I asked professionals a lot of questions and I wanted to know what went wrong and how I can support other women not to go through that same experience. And that's why I became a pregnancy coach. And so when I then found out I was pregnant as well, I went through the same journey as my beautiful clients and my audience that was pregnant as well. And there was a lot of fear, of course, because during the pandemic, um, there were not the support structure just crumbled, right? So many moms or parents really had very traumatic experiences where they were not able to be together during their childbirth. So fathers were absent, there was no birthing partner there, and women were just absolutely left alone. And when things were going wrong during pregnancy or during childbirth, it was like very traumatic stories that I've heard. And so up came another way of supporting my clients is like we create what we think about. So it doesn't matter what is happening around us. Let's just focus on what we desire, the experience that we want for our child birth. And so I have then shared the techniques that I was using, and of course, I do go in with my own belief system that this is going to work. And I cannot decide for other women to believe the same, right? But I took them with me as much as I could. And the beautiful thing was that exactly the way I have predicted it, I practically written everything down that I wanted to happen. And it like by the like even the time of when things would happen. That's exactly how it happened. But I mean, I looked consciously at the time. Is it happening now? Yeah, it has actually happened now. So it's like a confirmation, even for myself, my technique works. And so then I came out with this program of manifest your desired childbirth because it's like you're not doing it with me. And I'm like using my own belief system, my intuition, my spirit guides. But I am now proving to you that it does work because I've gone through it, I've put it all together, and now I can teach you.
That's
So,
incredible. Thank you so much. I have to admit, I did exactly the same with my second baby because the first one went a bit crazy. I was in labor for like 5 days and I developed stomach obstruction, which was quite crazy, but it was okay. But the second one was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to do exactly what I want. And it was amazing. And oh my gosh, it was so good. So thank you for sharing that. You mentioned about the spirit guides. Can you please tell us more about that?
yes, so I grew up in a Christian family. So religion was very, very important for us. And I was always very attracted to learning about the Bible, God, and angels. And I always asked the adults around me about what are angels doing? We're talking about God, we're talking about Jesus. What about all these million angels? What are they doing? And nobody could really give me an answer until one day I had an experience. And the experience was really not connecting necessarily directly with angels, but my loved ones that have passed have come to visit me.
Wow.
And yes, so I could literally like see them like they were standing there in front of me. And that's then when I started to ask questions because previous to that, certain things happened that already caught my attention. And then when I saw that was my uncle and my aunt who were married here on planet Earth, I was like, oh, okay, so something is going on here. There is something bigger out there, and it's calling me to connect. And so that's where my journey started, and where I then started to receive answers about angels as well.
Wow. Tell us more about that. So, I probably we all experience at some point in our life when you go into a room and you just feel like a presence there. So those are spirits, right? Or it might be a good feeling, or it might just be you feel it. I mean, I experienced that and I had no idea, what I'm dealing with. But actually it
Mm.
was when I started discovering more about the spirituality journey because it's fascinating me. So angels, are they all good angels?
It does, well, that's a very good question. Angels are, for me, are good angels because I focus on the light. So it really depends really again on what are you focusing on. There are certain practices that you better stay away from if you don't want to attract negativity or evil, right? Because it does exist. And I'm not like denying that. But my focus is really in staying focused on the light. I want good things for me, for my family, for my friends, for my neighborhood, for the world. And so I do focus on the good. And so only good can come to me. I have not experienced negative spirits because I have not even considered going down that route at
Hmm.
all. But they are there, and so it's good to be aware of them, but let's not give them too much attention. And that is something that my spiritual coach that I have searched for at the time to find my own answers has told me, because obviously as growing up as a Christian, you do know about the devil and about God and how evil spirit can come to you, etc. And so obviously I was very scared when I had those experiences that felt scary to me, but they weren't doing anything bad to me. It was just that I wasn't used to it. And so I asked her and I was like, okay, what am I doing here now? How do I distinguish between the bad and the good? And that was the advice that she gave me, and it served me very, very well. And so I'm giving this advice to my clients and to you listeners, to you, Roxandra. Let's just focus on the light. Let's just focus on the love, and evil cannot come because light, love, angels are so much stronger than evil. You are just stronger with that positive energy.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And I learned from you so much so far. And we are connected just for a few weeks. And I have to say, you are amazing. I remember when you told me about my baby, because my baby, being a baby, apparently spirits are coming to visit her and to make sure she's okay, or even the past loved ones from my family. And I remember it was one really late in the night, and I text you. I was like, "Look, what it just happened." I think it was around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was breastfeeding her, and I woke up, and I felt and I saw someone next to us, and I wasn't even sure what I feel, because it wasn't a good feeling, it wasn't a bad feeling, it was just neutral, it was just there. So yeah, you can share
Mhm.
that. I don't mind. I was fascinated. So is every single newborn getting guardian angels from the beginning of their journey on this earth? Is this how it works?
Mhm. Yes. So we are assigned at least two guardian angels at birth, and they watch over us throughout. And I just got really strong goosebumps as you were telling me the story, um, because I have seen it actually as you were talking about it. I sensed I had like tingling from the bottom to the top of my head, and so you can tell also the way I speak, it's really affecting me. And it's a positive thing because I could really see the scene that you were telling me about. And those were like ancestors that came. And I think I mentioned that, but it's like a confirmation now again. It's like ancestors that came to see you and to see the baby and to bring you blessings.
Mm-hmm.
And so for you, it's now like, okay, um, am I open for this experience? Is it too scary for me? So when these type of things happen, it's spirit guide like noticing you are ready, but it's still like your decision if you are fully ready for it or if it is a little bit too early. So you are always um, you're always the decision maker. So it's not like they will haunt you until you give them attention. They will give you some little signals here and there. You will maybe see some more synchronicities, more opportunities coming your way. So they're making themselves seen in different ways until you come around and you're like, oh, okay, yes, now I'm open. So they are very, very gentle with you. When they appear like that, is to kind of shock your system a little bit. It's like, hello, we are really here. Because maybe we haven't seen signals in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They were a bit too fine-tuned, and they're like, okay, now I'll get to shake you. I had a very similar experience with my uncle and aunt, right? They shook me. And they came
Yeah.
a couple of times before I was like, all right, you got my attention.
That's brilliant. And also, I know you're helping your community with readings, because your ladies that are part of your community, they already open up to the spirituality. So they are quite in tune with their intuition. And the tarot reading, it's coming in and it's amazing. I've been with you a few weeks, I have to say, I have to admit, and I love it. Everything that you said in that Monday, actually, it happened the whole week. So for me, it was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Can you talk with us a bit more about that?
Yes, I love these group readings, especially when I receive this feedback. So thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, I used to do a lot of readings on my business page, and so I started now in the group community as well in providing these group readings. So it's not a one-to-one reading; it's really energetically I tune into the group, and I always invite the audience to take what resonates and leave the rest, because in a group setting it's you obviously something I read a general reading, and I absolutely love these readings because I I'm a, I feel sometimes I'm a different person because I'm literally channeling and I'm in tune and messages just just come through very, very quickly. And in fact, I speak quicker than I would like to speak sometimes. But the messages come just so, so fast that I need to deliver, right? And I just enjoy them so very much because when I listen back to it, I notice that there is some golden nuggets there for me as well because I don't remember necessarily everything when I channel. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And so I have to listen back. And I think that's quite an interesting experience that I'm the one giving the reading, but I'm not doing it consciously, obviously, because I'm channeling.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So
Sorry, when I heard that for the first time from you as well, I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. So you don't even remember what you're saying, or not all the time, but it's your subconscious mind in a way, or because you are channeling, you are not fully aware of what's happening. So you're just on that field of energy and all the messages are coming and you're just delivering. And that's beautiful. That's so good.
yeah, I mean, of course, because if I am connected with my critical thinking, with my brain, then I would start questioning what comes through. And that is what blocks your intuition. That is what blocks your flow, right? So you have to switch off your brain practically, your thinking. And that's why meditation is so important, so vital, because you learn how to switch everything off in an instant so that you can channel. And there,
Hmm.
obviously, you work with your chakras and things like that so that you are ready to receive the message. And of course, I have my techniques on how I get ready before the readings. And then it's also important to clear that energy afterwards because it's all energy that can stay stuck with me. So it's about clearing in the beginning so that I can channel, and then clearing at the end again so that I don't bring unnecessary energy with me.
So is this the way you clean it? Because I saw a few ladies doing it like that.
Um, well, I love to use actually my beautiful, I don't know if you can see here, um, my beautiful herbs here. I incense and things like that that I put through all my whole body. That is
Hmm.
what works really well for me. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. Sage. There we go. So I just sage myself, and it's so funny. My children sometimes they're like, what's this smell, Mom? I don't like it. And at the beginning, I didn't like the smell of sage either. But luckily, I have different things. But that is what I love the most. But then obviously, I need to clear my chakras as well. And there are different ways in which I do it. And it depends on where I'm at with my mind. If I was maybe really, really busy beforehand, I use different techniques. So I have different tools practically
Wow, I
on
love
how I
chakra.
clear my energy.
Well, probably
Mm.
we'll have to invite you one day just to talk about that because that's so important. That's so important for all of us to do that, especially if you're going in a new place or when you know are lots of people around you. Or I remember when I worked with like a therapist or a counselor in a way. So I used to work with um, people with low, depression and anxiety and lots of life-changing events, traumatic events. And I remember at the beginning, I had no idea that all of that really impacted me. And I was carrying everything at home and I was feeling so sorry for them. And it took me a few years to learn how to separate myself from their problems and obviously from their energy. So that's really, really good to hear. Thank you for that. So if we go now quickly into the chakras, can you just tell us very quickly? So are seven, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, there are seven. You have the you have the root chakra, and the root chakra sits in the bottom. I'm laughing because I keep forgetting the sorry. Oh, because I sometimes forget. Oh, sure. So I was saying we have the root chakra and the sacral. Then we have the solar plexus and the heart chakra. We have the throat chakra, the third eye, and then the crown. And so
Mm-hmm.
when you want to connect with your spirit guides, what you do use mostly is your third eye. and your crown and the throat. So that is what I connect mostly when I want to give a reading. And obviously, my heart chakra is always open because it's about love.
Ah, that's amazing. So the way I see it, I know from up is like I understand, I see, I speak, the throat, the blue one. I love,
Speak your
I
truth,
do,
yeah.
I feel, and I am. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Now, Shirley, can you please tell us where people can find you and a little bit more about your business as an intuitive transformational coach?
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook. Connect with Your Intuition is my Facebook group. So you're very welcome to join and to experience what I do. And so at the moment, you will find there readings and free training and support. So, yeah, I teach you how you can connect with your intuition. But also, what I do in the one-to-one sessions is um, I connect with your spirit guides. And usually the clients connect with me because they would like to solve a business issue. And so we tune into that. I either channel something that comes through, or I receive a message of a technique that I should use to support you in getting unstuck and move forward in your business. So, as a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, life coach, I bring all of these tools in, everything that has worked, especially everything that has worked for me, but also things that have worked for my clients. I bring these tools all in and I channel, and spirit guides just tells me this is what my client needs at that moment of time to get her unblocked or unstuck in her business. And often what happens as well is business and life is connected. So when life situations happen, your business gets stuck. And sometimes clients are like, what we are talking about my private life. And I'm like, yes, spirit guides telling me you got to solve that so that you can have the flow in your life that can flow into your business and you can get unstuck. So it's a process, it's a journey. But the way you book me is you book one session, you have 100% money back guarantee, you're happy, we move on to the next session.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you for sharing that. And it's beautiful what you do. And I can resonate in so many ways with everything you said. And your approach is so unique, blending all those strategies, all those methods. And wow, I'm impressed. I had no idea you're doing that much. That's really good. Well done, yeah. Thank you. And
Thank you.
whoever is going to connect with Shirley, please send her butterflies so then she knows you're coming from this community and she has some special offers for you and some discounted prices as well. So thank you for that. And before I let you go, can you please just end this beautiful interview with a message or a quote or something you want to leave us with?
You are never alone and always loved by your angels.
That was short and powerful, really short and powerful. Thank you ever so much. Thank you, everyone who listened to our beautiful Shirley. She shared with us her story, her journey, and definitely we learned lots of things from her. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. We're going to be back with another episode, part of PU Project. You take care now and have a wonderful day. Bye bye. Keep on smiling.